Some people may be trying to figure out if working with a real estate investor or selling directly to a real estate investor is a better option for them over working with a real estate agent. So I wanted to go over a couple of things today, kind of give you an idea of some of the differences. And by all means, real estate agent is probably a good option for a lot of people. But in the event that it's not, that's where working with a real estate investor, buying the house directly, might work out better for you. And that's all I'm here to do, is really try to give you the opportunity to try and figure out which works better for you. You can, decide, just give you a little bit of an education. One of the major differences between working with a real estate agent versus working with an investor is the agent is not the one buying your house. They're actually going to list it and then put it out there to the world to try and find a buyer to come in and buy the house from you. In that case, when you're working with an investor, most times we're going to be the ones buying the property directly from you. So those are the overarching big differences right there, is the actual function between what the real estate agent is doing versus what the real estate investor is doing. Another additional thing that you would have to figure when you're working with an agent is the agent's job is to find somebody to buy the house. So there's many times they're going to ask you to improve the house, to do things that make the house better, easier for them to sell. Their job is obviously to find a buyer, sell the property. Their job is not to work as hard as they can, try and convince somebody to buy a house that maybe isn't the best option for them. Their job is to really say, look, this is the best product that's available. We've done, I had the owners do all these upgrades and fixes, and they've cleaned the carpets or put new flooring in, or they painted all the walls and make sure everything is in great shape. They've decluttered the house. They've made it look the best that we possibly can, and then at that point they're going to put it on the market and try and make it easy to sell. In the case of working with a real estate investor, we just buy it as is. We don't care if it's cluttered, we don't care if it's dirty, we don't care if it needs painting. In fact, all those things are great, because in our case, we're going to come in, clear out the house. If it's full of things, we're going to empty it, get a dumpster if we need to, come in, have our crew empty everything out, put it in the dumpster, and have it hauled away. If it needs painted, well, we're probably going to paint the property anyway, so that's an obvious one for me. Don't worry about it. New flooring, we're oftentimes going to put new flooring throughout the whole house. That's a regular thing for us. No surprise there. No, you don't have to pay for that. We're the ones that are going to come out of pocket for that. We're not going to worry about, is the roof old? Is it going to pass inspection? We're the ones that are buying the property. We have to worry about that. An agent may look at some things and go, look, this isn't going to pass an FHA inspection, so it's not going to get funding. So you're going to have to fix this. They may ask you to fix certain things. They may know somebody who can come in and do the work, but they're going to ask you to pay for it. So in situations like that, we're the ones that are actually doing the heavy lifting and getting the house to look its best, and do everything possible to make it marketable and make it ready either for sale or to just put a tenant into the property. Either one, that's something that we normally do. When it comes to purchasing a property, when we tell you a price, that's the price you're going to get. Most times we are going to pay all of the fees that go along with the exchange of the property. We're going to pay all the closing costs, basically the fees that the title company charges to have the paperwork drawn up and the title paperwork completed and filed with the county. They're also going to have title insurance there. We'll pay that. There are going to be some other transfer fees that go along, and legal fees kind of add up over time, but those all come out of our pocket. Very rarely would we ever ask any seller to pay those fees. We're always going to take those on. There's no commission. When you work with a real estate agent, and like I said, agents do work out for a lot of people, but in the case where it doesn't, you're not worrying about paying 3% for the seller agent, 3% to the buying agent. So 6% right off the top there, it goes away from the purchase price. So whether you decide to work with an agent or you decide to sell directly to an investor. I think both are great options, and you have to figure out what works best for you. If a property is in need of repair and you're going to have to spend a lot of money out of pocket to get it ready for the MLS and make it so that that it's going to sell and not just sit out there and do price reduction, waiting for the right buyer to come along, then working with a real estate investor could be the right way to go. But if your house is in great condition, you feel like it's going to sell quickly, an agent's probably a good way to go. But either way, we're both here to provide a service. Really, we're buying properties, like I said, as is in the current condition, not asking you to do a rehab on the property. And really, what we do is just provide a simple way to sell your house. If you have any questions, you can reach us at the phone number listed below. Also, go check out our website. The link should be right here on the video.